Hey guys, welcome back to Techogram. Today we're gonna learn what is hierarchical inheritance. So this is the fourth video in our series Inheritance. If you have not checked out the previous video, go check them out. So first, what is hierarchical inheritance? Hierarchical inheritance is basically one base class which inherits more than one derived class. So as you can see, there is only one base class. So you can derive one derived class B and then a derived class. You can derive any number of class from a base class. That is called hierarchical inheritance. We will take an example here of student table. So what we will do, we will declare two derived class. First will be our subject mark 1 and second will be subject mark 2. We will just declare one integer in both of these classes and we will write two functions. First is to take input and display in both of these classes. And in the main class, what we will do, we will, as you can see, I told you in the earlier video, you have to derive the object of the class that is derived last or derived on the same level. So here you can see subject mark 1 and subject mark 2 are derived from the same class, so they are on the same level. So we will derive object of both the class, one object of both the class, and we will call the input and display function of first object and then the input and display function of second object. So let's get started. As usual, first we have to include our basic header files, which are iostream.h. And now you can go back in the timeline and see the diagram which we have drawn. We will first declare our main class, which is student. So class student, and what we will do, we will just declare a single character name so that we can use that in our both the classes, both the derived classes. So we will write this in public, and now what we will do, we will write a character name and we will get the size 10 so that we can enter the name. Now just we will close this class because we just need one thing. And now what we will do, we will derive two classes. So first we will derive the subject mark 1. So the syntax is class name of the derived class, it was subject mark 1 2. I am returning in short form colon. And now what we will do, we will write the name of the base class, which is public student, and we will declare a single variable. As usual, we have to declare this in public so that we can use it in void main and other function too. We will write the integer and mark 1. As I explained in the diagram, we will define two functions. So the first function will be void input because it will not return anything, so void, and we want to take the input from the user. So cout enter mark 1. And now what it will do, it will just print a message on the screen, and we will save this in m1 which we have declared. And now we'll close the input function. Now it's the time for the display function, because whatever we have taken input from the user, we have to display it as well. So we will write display, and in the display function we will write a simple sentence of cout mark 1 equals to, and we will concat it with the m1 so that it will show the mark stored in m1. Now as you can see, we will close the first derived class. We have derived this class from our base class. Now we will derive the second class, which was subject marks 2. So the same syntax, class name of the derived class and name of the colon and name of the main class, which is student here. And now we will do the same thing. We will write everything in public, declare a single integer. We have declared m1 in the above class, and now we will declare m2, and the same thing which we did earlier, we will write an input function and then display. So we will use input 2. As I said in the earlier videos, the name of the function cannot be same. So here as you can see, I have written a simple function of void input in our first class. So I will make some so that you can see I have declared a void input function here. So you cannot use the same name in the second class, we will use something different. So just an input 2, and now we will do what we have did earlier, enter mark 2, and we will save this in m2. And now it's time for our void display. So we will write display2, because as usual we cannot write the same name of the function, and we will do this cout mark 2, and it is saved in m2. We will close the display function. We will close our second derived class. Now you can see in the diagram we have to declare the main class. So declare, we will use our void main, and as I explained earlier, we will, as both the subject mark 1 and subject mark 2 are on the same level, we have to create the object of their derived classes. So we will write first sbm1, and we will just declare s. And now what we will do, this is the name of the class sbm1 which we have declared earlier, and this is the name of the object. And what we will do, we will now declare the second object, so sbm2, and we will write s2. As you can see, we have two classes, sbm1 and sbm2, because we have declared two derived class. This is our main class, this is our first derived class sbm1, and this is our second derived class. So now we have declared the object of both the classes. What we will do, we will call the input function of both the class, and then we will display both the class. So s, using the object s dot input, it will invoke the input function of first derived class, and s2 dot input, it will invoke the second object. Now what we will do, we will clear the screen so that we can print the output. To print the output in a pragmatic manner, you can use like class 1 output, so that we can differentiate, and then we will call our display functions of s dot display. And we will do the same thing for the second class. We will write cout class 2 output, and now we will call the s2, because s2 is the name of the object, s2 dot display. And now the get cs to hold the screen for output, and close. There should be no error in the program. I will explain once again what we did. First, we have created a base class, a single base class. Then we have created two derived class on the same level. The first is subject mark 1, and in that we have created a void input function and void display function. And then we created a replica just with the second name. We have created a subject mark 2 by deriving it from the main class, public integer m2, and the same input and display functions but with the same different names. And then in the main class we declared object of both the classes, both the derived classes, and then we called the functions of both the classes. So we have written s dot input, and the name in the s2 was input2, and in here s2 was display2. As you can see, the name of the function was input1 and display input2 and display2. So now we will run the program. It is always advisable to save the program first, because there can be error in your writing, but I know there will be no error. If we found any error, we will solve it, we will rectify it. So yep, there is no error. Enter mark 1, we will just enter 50. Enter mark 2, we will enter 60. And as you can see, class 1 output mark 1 15, class 2 50. So this is the example of, and now you will ask what is the function of this name. So now we will declare everything which we have to do, the remaining thing. I don't want to create any confusion, so I just taken the variables of the class first. Now we will take the variable of main class. So in the input function we will write another sentence, cout enter name, and then we will save this in in name. And we will do the same thing in the input function of second class, which is cout enter name of class 2, so that we can differentiate. And we will save this in our in name. As you can see, I have declared the name variable only one time, but I can use in many number of time in our derived classes. So we will run the program once again, and you will see that everything is working fine. Yep. So you can clear the screen, enter name. We will write ASD, enter mark 23, enter name of class 2, we will write QWE, and the marks is 32. So it's printed again. Now everything is messed up. So to bring some clarity to the displays, we will use our manipulator /n for the new line and /t for the space. So we will write /n actually and /t. So I will fast forward this. You have to write it everywhere where you have printed a message. Now you can see we have written everywhere /n and /t, and we will run the program once again. Enter name. So just ignore the first line. You can see from the next line onwards everything will be properly displayed. Name will be write same ASD, marks 1 will write 23, for the class 2 we will write name as QWE, and the marks will write 43. So now you can see that it is displayed properly. So I will explain in short what happened. So you can see the last output was shown. So what you can do, you can just print a clear screen here too, so that it will clear the output of the previous program. And now what we will do, I will just explain you. This is the object of our first derived class. S2 is the object of our second derived class. We have first declared a main class which is student, and then we have declared two base class. The first base class is subject mark 1 SBM1, and in that we have declared two functions. First is input and second is display, and we have just created a replica. You can see the subject mark 2, we have declared the same thing, input 2 and display 2, and here we have created the object of both the classes S and S2, and we call the function of both the classes. First we called both the input function of both the classes, then we called the display function of both the classes. We will run the program once again. The output of the previous program is cleared, and I will enter the name Akash, enter marks we will write 76, and the name of the class 2 we will write Pradeep, and we will just enter 56, and you can see the output is clearly printed. Mark 1 is equal to 76 and class 2 is equal to output, and you can see we have just printed the marks. We have taken the input of two things, name and marks, but we have printed only one thing. So we will write a sentence here, cout in the display functions /n for the new line, name equals to /t, and we will the name here, and we will do the same thing in the first display function. I am doing this everything separately to reduce some confusions. So /n name equals to, and that will be saved in name. So we will run the program final time, control F9, no error. Enter the name we will write Akash, marks we will write 98, the second we will write the Pradeep, and marks will be 50. Now you can see class 1 output, name Akash, marks 98, and class 2 output. This is how you can use the concept of hierarchical inheritance in C++. Hope you like the video. If you have any suggestion or comment or confusions or any error, you can comment down in the comment box. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Bye.